Hello, welcome back to another video. Today is another LeetCode problem. Today we're doing 121 best time to buy and sell stock. It's a very easy question. You are given an array prices where prices at I is the price of a given stock on the ith day. You want to maximize your profit by choosing a single day to buy one stock and choosing a different day in the future to sell that stock. Return the maximum profit you can achieve from this transaction. If you cannot achieve any profit, return 0. Okay, what is this problem basically saying? Well, we're given some array prices, and this array, all of its elements are of course integers, and this just represents different days. Each element is a different day. So this is day 0, day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, day 5. We have to pick one day to buy and one day to sell, and we want to make the most profit. Now how do we make profit? All it is whatever we sell has to be greater than whatever we buy. Okay, simple enough. Well, it would make sense that we just get the minimum of the array and then use that as our buy, and get the sell and get the maximum and use that as our sell, and that would produce the maximum profit. But remember, these are days. We can't sell before we buy, right? So we have to find the minimum. We have to find the minimum before we sell, before we find the maximum. And how do we really do that? Well, in this case, we would use a sliding window. We start our left here, start our right here, and we would have some variable to keep track of profit here, and we'll set it equal to 0, because remember in the question it says that if we can't find anything, we should return 0. Okay, simple enough. Now, remember, we have to buy before we sell. So left will actually be our buy, and right will be our sell. That's what these 2 pointers will each be looking for. Now that makes sense, because if buy comes before sell, well, left comes before right. Okay, well, if we start them off here, what is the profit at here? Well, if we were to sell at 1 and buy at 7, the profit is -6. And all we do is we compare that number to our already existing profit. Well, is it bigger? No. So we can't actually use this. Now another check we have to do is right smaller than left? Well, if it is, that means that the position at right is actually a better spot to buy than left is. So then we move left to where right is, and we increment right. Okay, now we recalculate 5 and 1. Well, now we're getting somewhere. 5 minus 1 is actually 4. So we update our profit, because so far from what we've searched, the maximum profit we can make is actually 4. And we check again, is right smaller than left? No, it's not. That means that so far we do have the best buy option. We go again. Well, 3 minus 1 is 2. We do make profit, but it's not bigger than our previous profit. Go again. 6 minus 1 is 5. Now notice this is bigger than the 4, so we can update it. Now our new max profit is 5. And we update it again. 4 minus 1 is 3. There is profit, but it's not bigger than 5. And now that we are at the end, we just return whatever our profit is. And in this case, it would be 5. Now, what if we had a case like the other one they gave us, where it was 7, 6, 4, 3, and 1? Well, we have a left and a right here. Notice that the right will always be smaller. So what ends up happening is that we keep updating, we keep going like this, because the right is always smaller than the left. The longer we go, the better time we will find to buy. But the problem is, because it is always increasing, we never actually find a profit that's greater than our default of 0. So this 0 is never updated, and when we do go to return it, we return 0, meaning no profit can actually be made from the array of prices. Okay, well, that's the whole question. It's very short and simple. Well, let's head over to LeetCode and see if we can code up the solution. Okay, now that we are over in LeetCode, let's see if we can code up the solution. Let's first create the variable which will hold the profit. And the first thing we do in a sliding window algorithm is actually to create our left and right variables. Our left will just start at 0, and our right, well, since we increment it every single time, we can just do that in a for loop. And that will go from 1 to the length of prices. And we want to start it at 1 because there's no point starting it at 0. Starting at 0 means we buy and sell on the same day, meaning we buy and sell the same price. So the profit there would be 0, and that's just an extra iteration that we don't need. So from there, our very first check would be to check if the profit created with the current left and right positions is greater than our old profit, which right now is just 0. And well, remember, profit is calculated as whatever we sell minus whatever we buy. And our right pointer points at whatever price that we sell at, and our left points at whatever we buy at. Now, is the difference between them greater than whatever is stored in profit? Well, if it is, then we want to update that value to be equal to whatever the new profit is, which is prices at R minus prices at left. Okay, so now we are updating it if we find a new one. But with this code right now, our left always stays at 0. And well, if we look at this example, if it always stays at 7, then we're never going to make any profit because we need to move along. But how do we find a more ideal position to set L at? Well, we have R, which is going through the entire array anyways, and let's say R finds a element which has an integer that's less than the integer at the left element. Well, that means that we actually found a number that is smaller, which means that we want to buy at that price. And what we could do is just update our left pointer to where our right is at that moment. And that's everything. If we did everything correctly, we just need to return profit. And again, if we never update this, meaning that we never found a buy and sell which have a difference that's greater than our old profit, well, if it's never updated, we just return 0. And that's exactly what they asked for. If we can never find any profit, we just want to return 0. Now, if we did everything correctly, we could just check our answer. There you go. Perfect. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys in another video.